Morning, Eric. All right, guys, good morning. Welcome to Trade Pro Morning Market Update for Monday, or Tuesday rather, May 28th of 2019. But it's almost like a Monday because the markets yesterday were closed. All right, futures were open until about 1 p.m. Eastern, not about, until exactly 1 p.m. Eastern. The futures markets were open and rocking. And today we're reopening. All right, we're reopening at 9:30 in the morning for the U.S. session. Stocks will open as well. We had one day off for Memorial Day weekend, and not much happened this weekend. A lot of the news came out this morning, so let's go over them. But first, let's do a morning market fun fact. Leading up to the long weekend, about 5.2 billion shares were traded on Friday on New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ, which is the lowest full day volume since late August, according to the Dow Jones data. So we had a slow, uneventful day leading up to the long weekend, and we expected that. All right, this is sort of what we talked about in our Friday morning market update. All right, promises of a firm Brexit date. The contest to begin replacing Prime Minister Theresa May has officially begun. It's underway. Former Foreign Minister Boris Johnson, very controversial and polarizing figure, is the front runner for the field of about a dozen candidates. All right. He said that we will leave EU on October 31st, deal or no deal. So there's kind of where they've pegged the exit date. They've pushed it down a little bit further, obviously, for an opportunity to negotiate throughout the summer. We said October 31st, deal or no deal. They're leaving. However, he hasn't been appointed yet. He was told, he told people in an economic conference in Switzerland, that was his sort of quote of the day. All right, electing a new Conservative Party leader is a two-step process, and it starts the week of June 10th. All right, the party's 300 or so members of Parliament will, first of all, narrow down the field to just two people, and that happens through an ongoing voting process. It's a very labor-intensive approach. All right, through successive rounds of voting, they narrow it down to two. And then after that, the party's rank and file members select the person out of the two that they narrowed it down to. They just choose them, all right, to replace Theresa May. And that process is underway. So it's going to be interesting to see who sort of lands with the role and what their agenda is going to be and how they're going to negotiate an exit outside the European Union. That's very interesting. It's putting a lot of unknown and risk into the pound, and investors are sort of taking note, all right? Uncertainty is not good for any market. This morning at 8:44 in the morning, JPM CEO JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, said that he expects GDP growth of 1% this quarter. Trade issues now look like bigger risks to the economy. So that's lower than a lot of economists forecast. And he's citing that the trade war is going to have impact and it's going to have to start having a real impact on the GDP figure. That wasn't good for the market. But it got worse. At 8:55, China Global Times editor-in-chief Hu Hixin tweets, based on what I know, China is seriously considering restricting rare earth exports to the U.S. China may also take other countermeasures in the future. All right, the United States is hugely reliant on rare earth minerals and metals from China for their technology development. All right, technology requires a lot of rare earth minerals, if you believe it or not. Might come as a surprise to you, but it's a really big part and piece, and there's a grotesque lack of it in the United States. All right, so they're gonna have to find somebody else to import from. In today's markets, also Donald Trump on the weekend said the United States is not ready to move forward with negotiations with China. All right, so trade war continues, trade deal off the table. in Asia, in today's markets, Japan's up 0.4%, Hong Kong's up 0.4%, China's up 0.6%, India's up 0.2%. In Europe at midday, everything's down slightly. London down 0.1%, Paris down 0.3%, Frankfurt down 0.3 percentage point. In the United States, Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ all down 0.2%. Crude oil up about a percentage point to 59.13. It's open at 59.18, now making a little bit of a bid up into these 30s, into the 59 range. S&P is literally sitting at the close of trade on Friday. All right, so not much movement at all. Gold's flat. Bitcoin had quite a run this weekend. It cleared the 8,000 level, fell just short of the 9,000. Today, down 0.4%, consolidating some of the gains. This morning, we had two reports, the FHFA Housing Price Index and the Case-Shiller Home Price Index. And if I just open up my news terminal here, I'll tell you how they did. They both sort of stunketh. The Case-Shiller came out at 0.09% versus 0.5 expected. So pretty big miss there. Year over year, 2.68 versus 2.55 versus 2.95 expected. All right, and the FHFA housing index came out at 0.1% versus 0.2 expected. The prior month over month was revised higher, however, so that kind of washes out and puts a little bit of neutral sentiment to it. 10 a.m. we have consumer confidence. 10:30 Dallas Fed manufacturing survey. We got a lot of news on the docket today. 11:30 results of a 40 billion 2-year note auction, and 1 p.m. results of a 41 billion 5-year note auction. So early on in the morning, you're going to have some data from consumer confidence and Dallas Fed manufacturing. Then later on, fixed income and bond markets will be at the forefront. All right, so today it's the first day of a long weekend, and I strongly suggest you start out slower. All right, remember the 3 rules. Number 1, trade less size. Number 2, trade less often. And number 3, take profits quicker. Start out expecting less, and then if volatility picks up, you're going to have an opportunity, which is way better than starting out expecting a ton of points and you have 3 or 4 and you get diced up trying to get 10 out of a market that's only giving you 3. Right? So dial back your expectations and dial them up with volatility. That's what I got for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed the morning market update. We'll see you tomorrow, and I invite you to come out and trade with us in the trading room. We trade here daily from 9 to 11 a.m. In the elite room, we even have extended hours now until 12 p.m. And elite members could even trade from 3 to 5 a.m. with our star trader, David P., who was once a member, just like all of you, and is an awesome trader, and he leads that room. All right, so a lot of opportunity. I invite you guys to come out, trade with the team. It's the best place on the internet to learn how to trade, and the most awesomest community. Like that? Awesomest. Trademark that term. You guys take care. Have a great day. Let me turn around, open up the trading room. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Ciao. All right, trade pros in the room. Let us kick this off. I will cover the S&P 500. And thank you, Marky. And Victorio will do NASDAQ because Victorio's back from his training. We're a week long. He's a master NLP practitioner. And then I'll kick it off to Marky to talk about the Dow and Steven for oil. We got a full room today. Let's get it.